Welcome everyone to our Packers 2020 position previews virtually alongside Jim Owczarski. I am Olivia Reiner. Today we're going to be taking a look at the tight ends room of the Packers 2020 roster and discussing some of the major trends heading into the season. Jim, the Packers didn't do a whole lot when it comes to the tight end position this offseason. They did decide to let Jimmy Graham go, and he ultimately got picked up by the Chicago Bears. Nice NFC North rivalry there. But they did decide to bring back veteran tight end Marcedes Lewis. They also decided to draft Josiah DeGuara in the third round of this year's draft. However, he will likely play more of an H-back role, according to Matt LaFleur. What does the Packers' offseason moves, or even lack of offseason moves at the tight end position, say about the Packers' current confidence in second-year player Jace Sternberger going into the season?
Yeah, I think it says a lot. Obviously, a high draft pick in his own right a year ago. And, as he laughed when he told us this offseason that the biggest question he heard, and he knows the team heard, was could he block coming out of Texas A&M. And that's really all he did during the regular season when he came off injured reserve. And so for him, he felt like he answered those questions at the NFL level. And now it's just a matter of working him into the offense and making him a passing weapon. We saw a brief flash of that in the NFC Championship game with his touchdown against the 49ers. So I think it speaks volumes that they feel Jace Sternberger has proven enough, obviously room to grow, but that he can handle the workload of essentially taking all of Jimmy Graham's snaps.
This time last year, Sternberger was one of 4 tight ends that made the initial roster in 2019. That he was among Jimmy Graham, Marcedes Lewis, as well as Robert Tonyan. This time around, as I mentioned before, the tight ends room is looking a little bit different, not drastically different. However, this time it looks like it's Sternberger, Lewis is back, DeGuara, and also Tonyan as sort of the top 4 on the depth chart currently. How likely is it that the Packers decide to carry 4 tight ends once again on that initial roster?
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, we know Matt LaFleur likes that number, but I think it may come down to how well DeGuara picks up the blocking elements of this offense, because Marcedes Lewis, I understand his role in the locker room, and I definitely understand how valuable he is as an inline blocker. But if DeGuara can be that guy, I'm just sort of curious if they feel that they can shorten that room a little bit and coming out of training camp and have Tonyan just kind of be the third tight end. Because really of the group, he's the one who hasn't really – he was kind of coming along and then he got hurt. And then he had off-season surgery. So he's a question mark to me too. That's a good question, Olivia. I think they could go 3 with kind of a surprise cut in that room. I don't know if it would be Lewis or Tonyan. I think the key there is DeGuara and how he looks when he's finally on the field with grasping, especially that blocking role and handling NFL linemen and linebackers.
Tight end could be one of the underrated position battles heading into training camp this season. We'll decide what the Packers decide to do at the position when the season rolls around. That is going to do it for us today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you're checking out all of our other position previews over on PackersNews.com. For Jim, I'm Olivia. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.